I don't know why my shit ain't working. That's crazy. That's crazy. My phone was acting like this. That's crazy. That's crazy that it's stuck like this.
Is it frozen?
Yeah, it's frozen, but it never
So
happened. And
do this.
I did the power and it's not going
Were you
away.
holding all of the buttons at the same time?
All the buttons. All I gotta hold all the buttons or just the volume and
Nah, all of the buttons. Hold all the buttons you can at the same time until you see it powers off and it powers back on.
yeah, I'm doing that and it's not powering off.
Sometimes it may take about 10 seconds for it to.
Yeah, I'm holding it for 10 seconds. I'm like trying to figure this shit out. What the fuck? What the fuck? Are we on here though? We on here, right?
We live.
We live. Who we got home here? Conversation with King. Ooh. But I didn't promote it as much as I should have. Just to keep it live, keep it cool real quick. You know we're gonna
Okay.
be on. Um, damn, this shit's not working. That's crazy, and it's funny because but I'm getting all types of shit coming here. Let me do me a favor. Call my phone real quick. Let me see what's going on.
All
I
right, I
might
got
be
you.
with you. Let me see what's going on. Mm. See, I see you ringing, but I see you ringing. Nah, it ain't working. This is bad. Nah, don't worry about it. I felt the vibration, but it's not letting me see you call me. I see the missed call and everything, but it's not letting me see it. That's cool. It's cool. It happens. Um, let's get this on. Who else is on here? Let me see the chat. How do I go to the chat? You good now?
Yeah, yeah, because I went disengaged the
Yeah.
that call, so it should be
Hit the like button. Shout out to Barbie Tina. She always show love. Hold on one second.
salute Barbie girl Tina.
Yeah, word. Salute to her.
I start trying to figure out my cozy position for the show.
All right, all right. We got a few more people. We in here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's start doing the likes. We in here.
Let's get
I
them
can't
lights up,
I
folks.
can't see the lights. So turn the lights on. Please turn the lights on. Not the lights, but the lights on. That's how we pay our bills in here. Please turn the lights on. Shout out to all the flowers in the room, Barbie Tina. We appreciate you. Shout out to all the rocks in the room. That's the men. All the rocks, the solid dudes. All the rocks in the room. All the flowers. We appreciate you. All the flowers. We call them flowers because at the end of the day, women are therapeutic. They nurturing and they make us feel at peace. Rocks, we keep it solid. We stand on our ground no matter what. We might not agree with each other, but we stand solid. So shout out to all the rocks here. K Business, what's up? What's up? Appreciate you. Let's start getting the people in here because it's gonna get real spicy tonight. We got the chef. He gonna cook up. You got the chef. If you like what he's saying, please put the emoji up.
Definitely gonna be cooking tonight, man. Gonna be cooking tonight. Let's bring the topic. Let's get them lights up. Let's be honest. Let's be real.
It happens like that. Put the chef emoji up. If you like what he's saying, give him an emoji to put up. If you like what you're saying, we're gonna keep on repeating up to the whole night till they get the behaviors we need for them to illustrate. You know how it goes. The first 20 minutes we just want to get to know you, and then we start cooking up. And you know him being a chef, he's gonna keep it real spicy and put the ingredients that's needed. And one thing that chef has, he has that main ingredient which is called truth. And we want to make sure that we honor that. I'm Kinghormeku from Brooklyn. I appreciate you. We're here today to do part 2 of what we did, but we're going to do even more. We have topics now. Before it was freestyle, trying to get to know the crowd and what we're dealing with. But when I realized I met Chef, I realized Chef gets it. He gets it. He's the wisdom that we need. Every crew needs an OG that we can respect and that keeps everybody in balance. And that's what he does. He keeps everybody in balance. He doesn't put too much of anything. That's why he's a chef. You know what I mean? He don't put too much salt. He don't put too much pepper. He put the right amount. And that's why we have him here to make sure everybody's doing what they need to do to give y'all the truth. And when we out of line, Chef is gonna put us back in place because we have that respect and honor for him. Even me, it's my platform, but he's the one that keeps the balance. So let's make sure that we understand that. And we're gonna repeat this again, later on. But just tell me when Chef tells me to reset the room, I'm gonna repeat the same thing. This is the rules. We can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, but when Chef talks, we give him the platform because he provides the balance. He knows how to cook it up and make sure everybody's heard and everybody's respected. And we can get back to being rowdy, we get back to being crazy, but when he talks, we respect it. Shout out to Bob.
It's gonna be food and might be some food for the soul. So be prepared to feast.
Right. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. We on 8 right now. We're gonna get it up. We need to get up because one thing that I respect about Chef, he said, yo, Mo, he said, King, check this out. I get what you got with your boy Anton. I get what you got with them, but I respect their page. I respect my page. So we're not gonna do a show when they do a show. We're gonna do it before or after. Because they still black men and they still need to do their thing. So you gotta respect Chef. So I said, Chef, you're right. Let's do it before, see how it goes. And then we come back at 12 if we want to do another show. But we need to do a show that doesn't interfere with our brothers. Whether we get along with them or not, they still black men. That's how we give it up in Brooklyn. That's how we're gonna always give it up. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna disrespect, but when you get disrespected, we will handle it accordingly. However, we're gonna give respect first. You feel me?
Most definitely.
My spirit is good, JP. What's up, JP? What's going on, brother? Hey, Kim. Let's get some more people. Let's get some likes up in here. Let's get some more people. We start talking around like 20 people and stuff like that. We're gonna start talking. We got some good topics today, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of things is good. And by the way, we not no Fugazi channel. We're actually sponsored. All right. So those who don't know, if you see me, you might see me puff on this. There's no nicotine and there's no weed. This is a plant-based puffer. So as you can see, if you can see close, I don't know if you can see, this one is relaxed, jasmine aroma, chamomile, lemon, balm, and that's what it contains. It contains no nicotine or weed. This is called Ripple. If you get a chance, you can put my code, which is called the Ripple King, and get a 15% discount. I sent you there. Put Ripple King, 50% discount. No nicotine and no weed. This is calm. It calms your soul, and it actually is therapeutic. to be honest with you. Those
Like
who trying
sizable teeth.
yeah, those who trying to quit cigarettes, this is the move. Those who don't care about cigarettes, this is still the move. Thank you. Who we got? Who we got here? Just wait, King Chef, salute. We know what it is. Let's get it up. Let's get up to 20. You know how Chef cook it up. There ain't no joke around here. You know how Chef cook it up.
Ready, got it ready for y'all. Got the Moscow Mule on
Oh
deck.
no, so you know he gonna keep it spicy. You know he gonna keep it spicy. So we happy right now. Let's get up. Let's get up. Invite your friends. Let's get 20 because we don't got that much time. Remember, I only do 2 hours. I'm not doing more than that. So we down. We got a an hour and 50 minutes left. So if y'all want the tea, how y'all say, or y'all want the juice or the spiciness, you gotta get people on here. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about, Mika G. We talking about topics today. Topics. We got some good topics, and we got an issue with y'all ladies. You know how we protect the ladies, but we still got an issue with y'all. We want to discuss about switching up and what's the difference between switching up and evolution. Because we know there's growth, and we know there's, you know, we know there's switching up where you do things when it don't benefit you no more, and you leave it. We don't do that. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a couple of current events things, such as R.Kelly. We're going to talk about that, and we get Geronimo and my brother. We talk about the black economics, but we just wait for 20 people, and then we start the conversation. If you don't mind, if you don't mind that, Chef, right? You mind that, or we want to?
The more the merrier.
All right, thank you.
Then it's not served until we have all our diners at the table.
Hello, Chef is on. He's moving right now. Hello, he's moving right now. So talk to me, people. Let's get the likes up. We should have the same amount of likes as we have the same amount of attendance. This is not no game. I know y'all want to go and watch the Peep Show, or y'all want to go and watch Action Black Bay, anything that starts at 8:30. These are two shows we don't want to hate on. We just doing our little appetizer before they come on. And then if you like us, we come back. And we might keep it continuing if it's going on. Get the likes up. Thank you. Once again, this is Ripple Relax. Don't forget about this. Ripple Relax. They sponsoring the show right now. Hold on, guys. They sponsoring the show right now. We're an official show. We got sponsors. How you know? Who you know got discount links? They're not fucking with us. They're not fucking with us. They're not fucking with us. Look at the discount link. Go to ripplecode.com, 50% discount. That's what we doing. And it's just starting, baby. They're just starting. Let's do this. Rasta baby, what's up? Thank you for your question today. I appreciate you. You know, and she's straight up Brooklyn. She loved Brooklyn, Chef. She loved Brooklyn. So we gotta represent.
She showed love. She showed a lot of love from the last video too.
Right.
I appreciate you, Rasta baby.
This is smooth. This is chamomile. Oh, let me get it right. Chamomile and lemon balm. No nicotine. No nicotine. No weed. No anything. It's completely safe.
400 puffs.
400 puffs. That was one. I got 399 left. So what we got? Yeah, share with the Facebook. Do that for us, because you know me. I don't know about Chef, but I'm a little bit computer illiterate. You know what I mean? I'm not really advanced technology wise. Chef is more advanced than me. Are you anti 420 congressional sponsorship? No, we're not anti 420. I don't smoke, but I'm not anti 420. I don't smoke. I have no business in telling what you should do with your life. But I'm not anti 420. What about you, Chef?
I'm not anti 420. To answer your question specifically, I am definitely not anti 420. You understand what I'm saying? I believe that in terms of choice, in terms of the things that exist out there, in terms of whatever your creator or whatever your deity is, whatever they put naturally into the ground is something that is part of the environment that we have to survive and to utilize for ourselves. So I would never be able to judge you on what your God you know, what your God puts in the green earth for you to pull from. So, you know, I know that was a long-winded way of saying it, but you do what you do. 420, that's something natural. So no anti-420 whatsoever.
Shout out to JP. Thanks for helping us out. We appreciate you. Also, I don't smoke either, Rasta baby. I don't smoke. I did this because it's once again, it's pure, real herbs. If you see it, chamomile lemon balm. That's what it contains. It contains no nicotine. No nicotine. If you want a cold, let me tell you, if you want to get this little discount, try it out yourself or look on the website. You go to rippleco.com, 15% discount. But understand, if you want that 50% discount, put the Ripple King. That's me. Kinghormeku is the Ripple King. You get 50% discount. Thank you very much. Oh, we on 21 now. So what we want to start off for? They how many likes we got? Cause I can't see it, brother. How many likes we got?
See, I don't even have my laptop set up right now.
Okay. Tell somebody right now. Oh, Barbie, flower. All the females in our platform are called flowers. So when we call you flowers, not a derogatory term. As you can see, we take care of flowers. We love them. We appreciate them. You're beautiful. You're therapeutic just to look at. We at 10. Let's get up to 15. Please get up to 15 likes. Let's keep on pressing the likes. Thank you. You're flowers. We respect you. You're nurturing. And like flowers, if we treat them right, you know, they create more flowers. You know, when we see the men, we want men to be rocks. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Barbie girl Tina. I love you for real. I love you for real. You're gonna be the reason why we blow up. And if anything we can do for you, you know, let us know. I mean, you are attractive, but we don't want to look at you like that. We want to look at you as a sister. Kim, we look at you. You look good too. You look good too, but we don't look at you like that. We respectful. You get respectful. Likes up. We back to 20 now. So let's figure this out. Once again, don't forget to get this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the last time I put this up. I put up next 20 minutes. Thank you. All right. Woo! I got a real question for you, Chef.
Talk to me.
I got a question for you, Chef.
Yep.
And I need you to be honest with me. So we all familiar with the R.Kelly incident or the situation. He got convicted of all these charges, federal charges, RICO charges. Allegedly, they said that he is going to snitch on all the pedophiles in the industry, in the music and entertainment industry. He's going to snitch. So there's clearly more. How do you feel about that? Because me being who I am and from where I'm from, my community, I don't want to promote the criminal mindset. But where I'm from is considered the ghetto. So we have this oath that we took before we were even conscious of not snitching. But he's telling on pedophiles. And in our community, rapists and pedophiles are not respected. They are not respected in the real ghettos, in the hoods. If you are a rapist, if you are a molester, if you are a pedophile, you get beat up, stabbed.
You're the lowest of the low. You receive no human protection.
But he's snitching allegedly on other pedophiles. So my question to you, is he snitching or being a form of a whistleblower? Is that the right thing for him to do? And do you give him a pass? Do you give R. Kelly a pass for snitching on pedophiles? Even though You're from the 90s. And the 90s don't snitch.
Right.
Either you stay away from crime. If you're a civilian, you stay away from crime and you can do what you want to do. You can tell them whoever you want to tell them. But if you are a beneficiary of crime, you don't snitch. So I want to understand, is he a civilian or is he allowed to snitch on pedophiles? Because
So
pedophiles are the lowest of the low, in my
disgusting.
opinion. And I'm a felon, also a gang member. Want to make that known, not an active gang member. You feel me? Brim. And it's not something to promote. It's nothing to be proud of. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It built the tapestry of who you are. That's part of the symphony of your life.
Right.
So
And
we
you
could
being
change
from the
it all.
90s, you order by you being from the 90s, you automatic GSC, even though you're not GSC. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, is R. Kelly allowed to snitch on pedophiles and rapists?
All right. It's posed as a yes or no question about being allowed. The thing is, though, I have to draw the line of distinction so we don't conflate the two. One of the things is this. If you notice the indictment and the charges, it's pretty much a RICO case they put on. They pretty much put a RICO case, and how they were able to put a RICO case, they didn't say he was trafficking drugs. They didn't even say he was trafficking women. What they did was they drew a line of distinction between multiple states that he was at and tried to find particular crimes that he committed within those states. And then they drew a line of inference to state that this was an interstate criminal organization. That is key. They brought up specific instances that took place in specific states, right? So that's a whole nother beast within itself. It's a whole nother beast within itself. Why do I say that? Because the feds will create a whole dynamic, a scenario to put you into the box or like the mouse that's going to go through the maze that they've designed. So in this situation, who knows? Could it have been for them to have him tie in a whole bunch of pedophiles elsewhere? Quite possibly. That's the way our feds work. We have COINTELPRO and a lot, Iran-Contra and all of these different things. So our federal government is susceptible to a lot of, criminality in terms of how they move. The snitching part. Listen, man. Snitching, they say snitching stops once it gets to the civilian level. But I beg to differ a little bit. Here's the way that we as children knew it. And I come from a Christian household with my mom's dad's dad, are two very prominent Haitian reverends within the Pentecostal church, right? Here's what snitching is. If you do some shit that you feel wrong about and you were with somebody, whether it was stealing a piece of candy, whether it was lying to your mama, whether it was doing something small, and you go and speak on the other person that was involved with you, that is snitching. The criminal aspect of snitching obviously is amplified multiple times, but even as civilians, we understand if we did something wrong and we shared the name of our accomplice, we were snitches. So in the grand scheme of things, with him, if he was actually complicit with other people, because they putting him in the same realm as Jeffrey Epstein, right? If he's at that level, then yeah, it's snitching. But even if he was at the small level and he brought up any people that were involved in what he was doing, it's still gonna be the same. At the end of the day, I can't speak to this dude because I find myself in a weird line. He's somebody who is such a creative genius that he's had an impact on more than one generation, But then also, it looks like that genius suffers from a certain level of madness, and that's the weird paradox of life, the weird paradox of life that the people that have given us some of the best things artistically and culturally in our generations have also been tortured souls that was somewhat weird when you compare them to other people. You know, you talk about Vincent van Goghs, the Pablo Picassos, you know, the Albert Einstein, the Sigmund Freuds, all of these people, you know, Bach, you know, you talk about Beethoven, you talk about all of these different people that were some of the greatest cultural geniuses that we have, that they've been tortured. You know, that kind of leads back to the fine line between genius, you know, and insanity, right? But I know I said a lot. But back to the snitching thing, hell yeah, man. If he was doing something he knew was wrong, he was doing with someone else, and he spoke on it, it would be snitching. How does it impact me? Sometimes we accept different ills and we accept different shit in terms of life. We know everything is not going to be 100%. But am I upset if he snitches and gets more pedophiles off the street? Hell no. I'm a father. I'm a father. I'm a father. I'm a man that grew up. I'm a man that grew up around Brooklyn, around some gangster killers that may have been molested as a child. And speak to one of my homeboys, you know what I'm saying, that had to do juvie time. And this is one of the moments that he would take a bullet for me. And to watch this man sit and cry about the time when he was touched, if you will. So this thing is real. It impacts a lot of people, you know, and because our community doesn't talk about it, we don't speak on it as much, you know. It doesn't come to the forefront. So in the end, no, I have no tender feelings for dude and, you know, how he's perceived at this point. But at the same time, I still love and appreciate the art that he's created and the soundtrack of my life that he was during that time. But on the human, both of those R.Kellys are able to exist within my mental construct. You know, the artist as well as the psycho.
So I agree with you. Unfortunately, one part of it, I stopped listening to R. Kelly ever since he got those charges. I can't support anyone that molested or raped young women or men. His music is beyond genius. His music is the greatest, but I couldn't support it after that until I found out, you know, if it was true or not. And it seems like it's true. So I'm going to continue not to support it. As for the snitching, because of where I'm from and because of what I represent, if you are a civilian, you are allowed to tell the cops and the government anything you want to tell. But if you are part of the criminal world or the other side, there's certain codes. Even though these codes are not being followed from the Italians all the way to the blacks, they're not being followed. I wish that those who he raped and pedophile could cause bodily harm on him, but they can't, and that might not even help with their healing process. Him telling on other people that were pedophiles, I still will label him as a snitch. But I'm caught in between because I want those people off the streets. Would I do it? No, I couldn't tell on them. But do I want them off the streets? Yeah, I do. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't tell on them. I couldn't tell on them. But I want them off the streets. what the things that they did to these little girls and little boys is unfathomable. But I agree with you. And you're a father. I'm not even a father. You want them off the streets more than I do. And I'm glad you voiced your opinion, because your opinion is that of something being real, which is like, listen, we have to draw the line in this fake code of the streets, even though I live by it, where I cannot tell on people. But why are we protecting the pedophiles? If you're not going to go and hurt the pedophiles, then you need to put them in prison.
Yes,
You
get some level of accountability.
you need to put the rapists in prison. Like me, I wouldn't tell if someone raped my family member. I wouldn't tell the cops. I'll probably do something. But if I wasn't there in my family, I would want them to tell the cops, because they civilians. And I'm a civilian now, but because I wasn't at one point, I still follow the oath though. So I can't tell, but I hope that these pedophiles and rapists are removed. But because they are entrenched within the highest parts of authority and power, it's kind of hard to remove them. These judges, these politicians, these aristocrats, these plutocrats, they all have pedophile molesters ingrained in their culture. So it's hard to get them out of here. But we as people need to make a serious attempt to get them out of here. Pedophiles and molesters and rapists should not be, even in prison. When they find out that you are a molester or pedophile, especially, I'm in the feds, but in the state, I know that you're going to get hurt. And if you're in the feds, they're going to put you in a different unit, because they know it's only but a certain amount of time before someone's not going to take that. And we have to really protect our children. And I think that's what Chef was saying for the most part. He doesn't care what you do, as long as you're protecting our children. We got to protect our children. So R.Kelly, as great of an artist as you are, I don't listen to your music anymore. I know the parents are at fault. I know you are at fault. However, if you are a rapist and a pedophile, please do not stand next to me, because I'm not calling the cops. I might take the matters into my own hands. That's how I'm moving. I will take the matters into my own hands. This is why I stay away from people. Because if I find out it's what you do, if you hurt little innocent children, and I find that out, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you have no safety in my zone.
Right. There's no, as men, we don't allow that. As men, we do not allow that. And if for all the men that have that urge or that sickness or that mental health issue where you look at young men and women as prey, I would encourage you to seek help. Because if we find out that you are doing things like that, at least for me, if I find that out and you standing next to me, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be an issue. And I'm not saying I'm violent, and I'm not saying that I'm aggressive. I'm saying that you're going to have an issue. And the type of issue that I have is not something you can bounce back from. I want to keep it peaceful. I don't want any problems, but we do not respect pedophiles. We do not respect rapists. and we do not respect molesters on any level. I don't care if you're a celebrity, or I don't care if you're a layman. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're a sanitation worker. If you are a pedophile, molester, and a rapist, we do not respect that at all. So, all the civilians, if you see a pedophile or rapist, call the cops. Or the so called gangsters, you're not gangster, you got pedophiles and rapists and molesters in your community. You're not.
Hello.
You're not gangster. As soon as you hear that, you got to prove that. But once you prove that, you got to get busy. That's all I'm respecting.
Community.
Me?
I got to speak. And no disrespect for jumping in, man. But in terms of community, a lot of times we talk about being, Afro-Caribbean upbringing and understand how the village, it takes the village to raise a child. Listen, the culture, both my parents are from Haiti. And back then, if you screwed up while you were out in the town and somebody who knew your family saw you, they would whoop your ass. And then once you got home, you would get an ass whipping for causing embarrassment to your parents for what you did. It was a certain level of community policing. Back then, if there was certain people, nefarious individuals that were doing the ungodly, unthinkable thing, the community would handle it. By the same token, in terms of how we look at this community, I'm not just responsible for my own children. Even though King doesn't have me right now, I'm responsible for King's children, his grandchildren, your children, your neighbor's children. Because why? What my kids do, what your kids do, it circles back to us within the environment. And what you permit is what you promote. So what that means is the type of shit that you allow to take place within your environment, within your community. If you allow it and you don't shut it down or speak on it or take some sort of tactical action to stop it, you're promoting that behavior. So that's definitely something you really have to think about. It's not about getting in other people's business. A lot of times it's about you being proactive in your own community to cut certain cancers out, to stop certain things from proliferating themselves within your environment. We pull weeds out. Doctors cut cancers out. We have to understand certain cancers that exist within our society, and we have to be proactive. Do I mean going down and lynching, looking for pedophiles to lynch? No, I don't mean it like that. What I'm saying is that when we see evil as a community, we have to want to rage against evil and not just be docile and sit back and say, well, that's not my evil. That's his evil. Nah, that shit is our evil. And certain things have to be rooted out within our environment. So Chef's issue is your issue. King's issue is Chef's issue. Your issue is your issue to all the other folks that's out there. The thing is, once we start looking at it or viewing it as something that impacts our community and our future generations, then we're going to attack that problem the right way,
It's crazy because JP asked the question, what comes first? What comes first? And it says the black code, the father code, or the street code. And we have to really, really, this is a time where we have to make a decision. We have to make a decision. And I think when you heard me and Chef, especially Chef cooking up, he's saying the father code, the community code holds precedence over everything.
Yeah. In terms of the father code, I agree. Why I say the father code, we could say the black code, but we are not monoliths. I don't rule, the black community. But as a man, what I do is, I'm responsible for my household. So there's a really, really brilliant gentleman named Dr. Jordan Peterson, right? And he has a concept called cleaning up your own room, which means before you step out into that environment and trying to change the world, the biggest impact that you have on this world are the families you create and the kind of children that you put out into that environment to impact other people. So one of the first things you need to do before changing the world is clean up your own room. You could Google it. Jordan Peterson, clean up your own room. And that's where the father code starts. If I'm a father that's part of a 2-parent household, and I'm raising a child a certain way, I'm feeding their brain the information, I'm giving them that food to take out into the environment. That's the first and the most important, because that doesn't only impact that person I love. It impacts people that are loved by others as well. And it all starts from the home. And when you build your sons and your daughters as well, the thing is, it creates a stronger dynamic. And whatever message or ideal that you're wanting to push forward, those are going to be the representations or the manifestations of the greatness that you want to put out there, because you created them, you molded them. So the children you put out into the environment, they speak and manifest the greatness that you perceive. They are the physical manifestation of your idea and your ideals and your thinking process. So father code, definitely first. Definitely first.
Keep on talking. You got it. I'm listening. At the end of the day, let me see. Shout out to JP. What did he put? It's content. You feel inventing other races into conversations up on a black household. Okay, he has some good questions. What you think about that, Chef?
That's a great question. And it's so I'll say this. There's another show that I watch. Like I said, I love the show. It's the La People's Talk Show. They brought somebody else that was not of our ethnicity onto the show to give a certain level of perspective. I think, yes, we can bring somebody else into the conversation. However, they're not going to be able to speak on how we need to clean up our household. The only thing that they can actually do is provide us with a certain level of, I'll say, perspective on how they do it. Points of inferences, special comparisons that can be respectfully made between, and it's put out there for us as a people to absorb it and try to see different ways we can change it. But, that's a firestorm. I'm not stupid bringing somebody of another race to come in and tell us how to clean our household. No, what they can do is tell us how they clean their household. And we can pull from different points of inferences that they make, So can it be done? Yes, but in a specific way.
Listen, I'm going to be real with you. We need a clean house. We need a clean house. Most women wouldn't want a woman to come and tell them how to treat their man. And most men wouldn't want a man to tell them how to take care of their woman. We need to handle this shit internally. With that being said, we need to get the likes up. Tell me what the likes are. Are they past 27? If they're not past 27, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
It's looking crazy right now.
The likes is what are the likes at? 15?
Right now I'm showing 17 likes. 17 likes.
We didn't even get to the spicy stuff yet. What's up, TJ? What's up? Once again, we're sponsored by ripplecode.com. If you want the 15% discount on your natural plant-based puffers, no nicotine. Is it clear?
Uh-oh, I have to send a special shout out to Mosaic with TJ Randolph.
Right.
TJ on deck is definitely somebody with an awesome perspective, great content creator as well. So thank you for showing us love, my sister.
She need to come up here, which that's what she needs to do. We allow women up here as well. We don't do that. We men, we confident ourselves. We don't do that. They allowed at the table to have access to the table. You feel me? If you're a man, you don't mind the opinion of a woman, because at the end of the day, they still have man within a woman. That tells you something. They can relate. We here, I put it up. Just click on the link. If you want to come and talk, just click on the link. You can see it right there. So the R.Kelly thing. So we decided right now that we choose the black code and the father code over the stitchy code. But me, once again, I will not snitch. I will not tell. I will handle my business on my own. But those who are not in that lifestyle, I repeat, please call the authorities. Please call the authorities. I'm
See
telling
something,
you,
say something.
I'm a whole G, and I'm telling you, please call the authorities. If you're not a street person, call the authorities and get that pedophile and that molester out of the streets. But if you are who you say you are, get busy. Get busy. But if you're not who you think you are, call the cops. Please call the cops. Don't go to jail if you can't do the time. Don't go to jail. That's not cool. That's not cool. But if you made an oath, you know what you have to do. This is why I tell young men and women, do not enter into the street life. Do not enter into the gang life. Because if you are not ready to go all the way with it, you're wasting your time. Be a civilian. There's nothing wrong with being a civilian. That's actually better than that. Better than being a gangster. Be honest with you. Because gangsters always got to talk to lawyers. They got to talk to accountants. They got to talk to them. The biggest gangsters are politicians, and they got degrees.
Sometimes folks don't realize that gangsters have to exhibit a higher degree of discipline than a regular 9-to-5 person. They have Gangsters have to dodge the ops, dodge the cops, watch their back, feel an extra degree of the need for protection of their loved ones. They have to find the squarest friend that they can find and feel comfortable to kick it with so that they know somebody's not coming for them. There's a high degree of what you can do. They can't talk on the phone. They can't do this and that. Folks don't even understand that
Right.
that lifestyle requires more discipline than if you work at a bank. You get what I'm saying? Because there's more that you have to lose. So when people take on that lifestyle, they take on a certain, it's high risk and high reward. But with that high reward comes, heavy is the head that wears that crown. You also have a high degree of discipline that you have to adhere to.
Yes.
And you could lose it all.
Right. And once again, any real person that's part of that lifestyle will tell you and will tell their children they don't want them to be in that lifestyle. They will want better for them. So please, if you are not a gangster and you have a pedophile, a molester, and a rapist in your community, call the authorities immediately. Get them off the streets. If you are part of that lifestyle, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, you are a protector of your community. So they shouldn't be there. However you want to handle it, it's on you. If you want to ostracize them and make sure they can't function in your community, that's one thing. I'm not promoting killing. I'm not promoting harm. I'm just saying they should not be in your community. Because I'm going to judge you on that. I'm going to think you're one of them if you allow one of them to move around your children. R.Kelly, is he a civilian, Chef?
Is he a civilian? Nah. I'm going to say this. We talk about civilian, we talk about hustle life. Big dog on deck. We talk about civilian, we're drawing the line between criminality and straight up stable good guy living. If this motherfucker is doing all of this stuff that he's been accused of doing, man, that's not civilian. You know, selling crack, selling dope, doing this and that that's not the only thing that makes you not a civilian. This is the most reprehensible crime that you could think of. This is the kind of crime that he's accused of is the kind that somebody who's a serial killer might look back and be like, "How dare you? This dude is evil." You got serial killers looking down their nose at R. Kelly. That's how reprehensible the crime is, right? So if he's doing that, you are not a civilian. You are a reprehensible creature. You are evil manifested in the flesh. You feel what I'm saying? So because he's not flipping packs, doesn't mean that, he's not a, thanks. Yeah, I need to relax. That got me riled up. But because R. Kelly's not flipping packs, it doesn't mean that he's, that he's a civilian, man. That's nefarious. That's evil. So you lose all protections once you venture into that realm. So hell no, he's not no civilian. Not with that. Black, big dog on deck. Oh, gee.
Black, talk to me.
You muted.
By the way, while he's on mute, he gets on mute. We are ripplecode.com, 15% discount if you put the Ripple King. That's me, the Ripple King.
Hello.
It's no nicotine. There's no nicotine and there's no weed. This is pure herbs, natural stuff. It's actually healing. Yeah, we're a real show. We get sponsored. I don't know about everybody else, but we get sponsored over here.
Am I good, y'all?
Yeah, you good, brother.
Man,
yes, sir.
Man, I came home from the gym, man. I'm like, oh man, the fellas is on, man. Let me tap in real quick.
Thank you.
I heard y'all talking about that R. Kelly.
Yeah, we talked about the R. Kelly, but we because we are an innovative show, we put a little twist to it, which is R. Kelly is about to tell on, allegedly, he's about to tell on, snitch on other pedophiles in the industry. And there is a code of the streets about snitching. And my question was to Chef, and he answered it properly, was essentially what JP said. Does the father code and the black code supersede the snitch code? Is he allowed to snitch on other pedophiles and molesters? Or does he still have to uphold that code?
Me being a civilian all the way, I can't really speak to that. You know what I mean? So what I will say is that from my understanding, you don't snitch at all. You let the streets do the justice. That's my understanding.
That's what I believe.
Yeah. So that's my justice. But to break it down even more, I also believe that it's an allegation because he still has to go through his retrial. He still hasn't gone through sentencing. So I don't see him snitching on himself before he get a chance.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm seeing, is that it may have been just an assumption that he would snitch, but at the same time, I don't really foresee it because, he still technically can get free.
Right.
I wouldn't shoot myself in the foot while I'm in the middle of a trial to snitch on somebody else so I can get home for, 3 years? You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, if he feels like, he got a lot of cases. He got cases out of state and federal, multiple states, multiple places. So I can't sit here and say he would snitch for this case, but then try to fight the other ones. It's really a game right now. So.
So what do you think?
I think, like I said, I'll be honestly, I don't know what to think right now. I'm disappointed in my brother. Like, be real with you. I grew up on 12 play. I knew it. You know how many times I done flipped 12 play? I know every little verbiage in that album, and then to hear him go down like this is disappointing, So I'm kind of conflicted in ways of the artist, but then as a man, I'm kind of not. I'm disappointed in everybody in the situation because everybody want to put their hands up now and say, I don't know, we wasn't a part of that. But then y'all was on, like Jay-Z was all on video with him right after the trial, talking about he not guilty. You know what I mean? So we get in these weird little spaces, and you see where the rats run. They run into their little holes when the light come on.
Right.
And the light is bright right now for a lot of these cats. So, whether he does
What
do it, I don't know.
Wow.
sometimes when we look at things, especially when information comes out, I kind of look because I was blessed enough to be born in a certain realm that kind of took me through a few decades, right? 70s, 80s, 90s, what have you. Bro, when we look back to that era of the early 90s where he started and R. Kelly, R. Kelly, his group, plus Aaliyah and them came out. I don't know, man. If that time was more internet based like it is now, if we were in the information age back then, do you think he would have lasted as long? You know, I mean, they had the marriage certificate with him and Aaliyah. That thing was in what was it, Five magazine, and that was in the early '90s. It was even before '95. It was known. I've been in the record industry now since as a teenager, and I gotta say, we knew even when I was at Epic Records during that time in the early '90s, people knew that R. Kelly and Aaliyah were together.
Yeah.
And it was something that was known. So if we go back to the beginning and then we start to see a certain pattern of behavior, bro, I had all of his CDs, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm on all this man's CDs. So I'm not coming from the antithesis of a fan. I'm somebody that his music was part of the soundtrack of my life. And unfortunately, even though I may hate, what he potentially did or find him reprehensible, listen, I'm not a hard drive. I can't just delete all of that good music, delete 12 play from my psyche. It don't work like that. Delete Honey Love and all the rest of them. I can't do it. So in the end, I have to kind of reconcile all of that stuff. But no, back then, there were questions about it.
I got a
And
question for you. What about Kylie? What about Kylie Jenner, who and Tyga? I don't want to be dry snitching, but
yeah,
Kylie Jenner was 16 rolling around with Tyga, and everybody kind of brushed it to the side, like, oh,
But,
well,
but,
she's
but here's the thing with that, and I'm not condoning it because you shouldn't mess with a 16-year-old girl. When women tend to date older, but their parents knew about it, right? Once parents give consent, it's out of our lane. Are you saying E Black, their parents didn't know about that? The Kardashians' parents didn't know about that?
well. What I'm saying is that there's almost a double standard when it comes to this. It's kind of like the parents of R. Kelly questionably knew.
They knew about it. You would let your daughter
it's
do that?
What didn't one of the girls' father end up joining his band?
That's crazy. You know what?
yeah, it was
I don't
a
want to talk
couple of
about
the
it. I don't know too
parents.
much. I don't know the details, right? That's why I kept it on the simple. I don't want to go off on a tangent, which is basically, should we respect R. Kelly for telling on other pedophiles now that he's caught? Yes or no?
No, he gains no respect. He's he's he is dropped below the threshold of respect for me by virtue of his actions. So anything that he does at this point, it's not going to bring him above that line of respectability.
Right.
He's just a rat in a cage at this point, and he's going to scrape and do whatever he can to put himself in a better position. If he was able to utilize children for nefarious means as that, then any other decision he makes is fruit of the poison tree. He gets no props for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just a correction, JP, it was 6 years because he was like 22, 23.
Okay. Okay.
So just
Okay. Okay. So E, you didn't give us a direct answer. What's that noise in the background? That's you, E? 'Cause I can't hear you. Press mute. Yeah, that's E. That's you, E. Fix that, please. Um, Enough of the R. Kelly. We all came to the consensus that if he is a rapist and a pedophile and a molester, he needs to be off the streets. Also, if he is a rapist, pedophile, molester, he never claimed to be a gangster or criminal, so he can do what he wants to do in regards to snitching. Once again, I'm going to say, if you are a civilian, you have the right to call the authorities if someone's a rapist, a pedophile, molester. Do we all agree on that, fellas?
Without question. That's what 911 is for, the civilians.
Yes. But if you are who you say you think you are, a gangster, handle your business. And I don't mean killing someone or hurting someone, but make sure they're not allowed to be in your community anymore. They have to leave. In the feds, people have to check in. And when you check in, you have to go up top. That means if your paperwork or your paperwork is not straight, you go up top. That means they give you a grace period to go to the box or PC. We know you're not good. We ain't gonna beat you up. You gotta remove yourself because you can't function here. So you don't have to hurt anybody. They just cannot be in your community if they're a rapist, pedophile, or molester. Period.
And until their paperwork is verified, they sit in limbo.
Right. And my paperwork was always good. Let me throw that in. All right. So next question to these fellas. This is the big topic. I'm hoping everybody jump in. How many likes we got? I hope we got 20 likes because I'm not doing this if we don't got 20 likes. How many likes we got? We should have 30.
We're putting these testers out right now. So.
Oh, no. Kim has a good point. Let me put that up. I'm not going to play you, sis. He was molested as well as a child, not to finish his behavior, but he also needs some mental health. Okay, let me explain something to Kim.
She's right. I believe that.
Kim, there is an old adage that goes, the oppressed will be the oppressor. Hurt people, same thing. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. He was molested. And he passed it down. So that's even more reason to put him away. If you know that is the ritual that happens or the routine that happens until he gets it together. And I feel, based on the allegations, he has hurt tremendous amount of people. Now, if we could catch people early when they've been molested, so we can try to rehabilitate them, that's a different story. But you're not doing something right when you do it in private. If you ever want to see someone doing something right or wrong, ask them to do it in public. They'll show you. They won't. Ask somebody to cheat on their wife in public. They won't do that. They won't do that. They won't. Ask somebody to do an illegal deal in public. They won't because it's illegal. This man has mental issues. We're not going to deny that. But this man has to be put away.
I definitely have to jump in. I'm somebody that's going to be 100% transparent, and I'm not coming in with prepared talking points. So, with the same level of enthusiasm I have to accept when somebody hits me with a zinger, right? Kim M85, I got to tell you, you really brought up a good point, considering the fact that I knew that he was molested as a child. And, I have to give deference to that. So I definitely appreciate you bringing that up, because I was speaking to him as the perceived predator, but did not take into full consideration the victimization that took place. And a lot of times, because we as a Black people don't tend to seek mental help and medical attention like we should, a lot of these things fester and continue to metastasize like a cancer within us, impacting other aspects of our life. So you're 100% right. He is a victim. He definitely is a victim. The thing is, though, what can I do at this point? He's not a child. He's not at the point where I could sit down and say, okay, little Robert, this is what you do. This is not what you do. He's past that point. He's at a point where himself, his message, his image is amplified, and it's everywhere. Millions of people have something with his name on it in their home. That's big. So at this point, unfortunately, the way this whole society thing works, it's too late to treat him as a victim, because the multiplied power of the victimization that he could potentially cause is even greater. That when we looked at took place, that took place with him. So I really appreciate you bringing that up, because I did not take into account the fact that that brother was a victim that sent him on this path. But at this point now, what's the greater good? What's out there, or what he went through? The potential impact of what he does in future generations, or what he went through in a singular fashion.
And I agree with.
Thank you for checking me on that.
I agree with you, Chef. Let's be honest. Even if it's not R.Kelly, it's the dudes in your street. It sometimes you see homeboy in the car with a little high school girl. What we gonna do? Do we check them?
We all have those homeboys. We have those homeboys that will help us fight in the street, will take a bullet for us, but we know that's the same homeboy. You don't leave your wallet around it. You don't leave your little sister around. You get me? And we're able to balance all of that. Sometimes that balance is what creates situations like this, things that we just let slide. Oh, that nigga just a little freaky. He just a little crazy. He just like to stare. Oh, he like the young girls. Freddie, he like the young girls. Sometimes we provide those passes that enable that behavior.
Yeah, because there is some homeboys that I know personally who I wouldn't leave my daughter in front of. I'm not gonna call the cops on him right now, but he touched one of mine. It's you're not gonna see E-Black TV no more. y'all gonna be like, man, remember that dark skinned dude, man? He was cool for a little hot minute, man. And then
but that's an issue too, though. If there is some homeboys of yours that you don't trust with your daughter, why are they still outside? That's kind of selfish. One of the things that Chef says, like, I'm not just here for my daughters, but when King has daughters, I'm there for his daughters.
Yeah.
So why are you just protecting your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cold game.
I don't knock that, because you like, man, I'm just here to take care of mine, man. I can't be worried about the world. I don't knock that, but it's just a question, honest question. Why are you just here to protect your daughters, not everybody else's daughters?
Because let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to prove. Sometimes you got to walk down in that courthouse midday, CPS take interviews with Johnny Law. We all struggle in this life, and then next thing you know, if he come up not guilty, or they just wash their hands with it, you out here looking like Bobo the Fool. So it, like I'm not saying that, I wouldn't do it, but we all understand that the difficulties of incriminating another man.
Right.
So it's not like I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna hang up from this live and then go call the police right now, because we all know what the ramifications can come from doing that. We all know the journey. And then we all know if he get away, we hung out on Front Street now.
I might piss some people off. I may just piss some people off, but look, I tend to do it in my personal life, so I'll do it. I'll do it now. I brought up Jordan Peterson before and his whole concept of clean up your own room. Clean up your room first before we talk about the world. There was something that King just brought up, talking about having certain people in our circle, right? I want y'all to think about this in terms of the Black community, in terms of our community. You know, you'll hear different things like when there's family events going on. All right, now make sure you don't sit on Uncle Frank's lap now. Okay,
Hold on.
Right, you know, don't go sit on Uncle.
Hold on, Chef. Before you spit your bars, where we at in likes?
Oh yeah.
You about to spit some real gems. Where we at in likes? We gotta be at 20. Are we at 20? Because
I'm saying, oh, we at 29. We at 29.
All right.
30 will look toasty.
Spit your bars, because you cooking. You cooking. E, I expect you to cook too. Come and cook.
Okay, we gonna cook.
The family. All right. When we talk about cleaning up our own house, a lot of times in our community, family events that be going on, mamas who grew up around Uncle Joe, you know, or Uncle Freddie. You know, I'm trying to make sure I use names that don't attach none of my real family. But it's, you know, Uncle Joe or Uncle Freddie, where they'll tell you, now watch out. Just you give him a hug. You know, they tell you if you give him a hug, don't be sitting on Uncle Freddie's lap. All right. You always have to think about the drunk uncle, all of these different things. There is stuff and information that folks have, but because they want to keep business within our own yard, what ends up happening is if the news of the information, the news will stay in their own yard, but then the real shit will start to bleed into other people's yards. And we don't understand that we might have just enabled somebody else that's going to do this to somebody else and to somebody else's children. You know, so the challenge that I have to my folks, to my fam, to those of us in our community, if we feel this is something real and disgusting and nefarious, we have to address it within our own homes with the same degree of enthusiasm. We can't fight the enemy outside with a high degree of enthusiasm and whisper and tiptoe around when the nefarious shit is going on within our own boundaries. You know, sometimes the biggest war is the one that we fight amongst ourselves, you know? So what I say is we have to be just as vigilant. If you know your nephew is on some freaky shit, you know, he's been watching porn since 11, 12. I mean, figure out a way to get him some help. Figure out a way to talk to him. Figure out a way to address it instead of being embarrassed and hiding it. If you got this other nephew that might have been molested at some point, you recognize that. Be that proactive man to try and add something to his ecosystem to defer the bullshit. You know what I mean? Once we know, then we have to act. It's not snitching. Once we know, we have to act. We have to speak or be proactive or do something to change some of that behavior that takes place. But we have to clean up our own rooms first, bro. First, we have to clean up our own shit and then reflect that goodness out into the community. How the hell I'm gonna keep cleaning? I'm gonna sit here shovel everybody's snow, right? But then all the snow is on my spot and it's gonna bleed onto theirs. I'm doing nothing. So the whole point is, maybe that analogy sucked. Oh well. I'm just saying, it's important that we handle what we handle and what we can see within our borders first before we go to the outside.
Hey, real quick, King, can you switch to another view, man? This view ain't doing my shirt justice, man.
Wait, hold on. Like this.
Yeah, man. My shirt,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, now you got the rock star vibes.
You like that view better?
Yeah.
All right, but since you made it lighthearted, let's get to the lighthearted topic, and let's talk about something that the ladies need to hear. And there's not a lot of flowers in the room right now, um, but there's something I want to talk about, and I want to ask you two fellas the question. And I wish Daryl was here, but he's on the road right now. Shout out to Daryl, man. Shout out to him. Daryl Long. Shout out to him. Um,
He hit me up too, and we straightened it out.
yeah, of course, because we men.
Yeah,
Um, it's not that serious.
it
You
ain't.
feel what I'm saying? It's not that serious. Um, Let me give you some context. There's a lot of I dealt with a lot of women in my life. And these women, because I'm very transparent and very shout out to first before I go on, shout out to Maricela Flowers. She's the one that helps me out a lot tremendously. I don't know what I'd do without her. She's the one that's going to, let me see if I can make her a moderator. How do I make her a moderator for the room? Do you know how to do that, guys, or no?
Yeah,
Uh,
Hoover over her name,
yeah.
and
Do what?
then
Do what over her name?
like there should be something to where you can go over her name, and then like
No,
uh
I'm on StreamYard, so I don't know if I can do that on StreamYard, right?
yeah, you got to do it on YouTube.
So you got to do it on YouTube. Okay, so I don't know how to do that. Um, but I do it next time when I'm on YouTube. Um, so she's dope. She's gonna help out a lot. For some reason, my phone is jammed up. I don't know why it's stuck on this, and I can't do nothing about it. But this is weird because I got a brand new phone. This is crazy. But here's the question, and here's the context. And let's get the likes up to 30. We gotta get 50 every night because we just starting out 50. Where we at now?
34.
All right, so we need 50. But here's the context, and bring people into the room if you can, because we what we're gonna do. We do pop-up shows. We just don't. We're not gonna organize this. So if you're not attentive, you ain't gonna know about our shows. You gotta be subscribed and know what's going on to Conversations with King. But here's the context. I have dated many women in my life, and I'm a transparent guy. I tell them what it is from the jump. What's up, Abraham? Abraham, what's going on? I tell them what it is from the jump. And what happens is, in a relationship, they switch up. And I hold them accountable to them switching up. And I want to ask you, fellas, is there a difference between switching up and evolving? Let me give two examples. One example is I talked to a lady one time and she told me, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. After 6 months, she says, I think I want to get married and I think I want to have kids. And I said, hold up. That's not what you told me in the beginning. Is she switching up or is she evolving? Another example, I had a girl. I said, I'm into threesomes. Are you into threesomes? She says, yes, I never did it before, but I'm willing to try it with you. After 6 months, she goes, I really don't think I want to do that. I just want to be with you. Is she switching up or is he evolving? And how do you hold women accountable to them switching up? And ladies, the flowers, not just the ladies, but the flowers in the room, men do it too. We switch up as well, or we evolve. So you could always tell us how you could on the chat or come on live with us and let us know what's the difference between switching up and evolving in a relationship. So I want to go with E Black first. King E Black, let me know what's the difference and how do you hold them accountable? Is that a good question, first and foremost?
No, that's a good question. I think the difference
Yeah,
between
'cause
switch.
we're not gonna do when should a man propose you type questions. We're not doing that other type of stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing unique questions over here.
Yeah, so I think definitely it's a switch up. Evolving is bringing something out naturally that is from your soul. If a girl say I don't want to get married and I don't want to have kids, that's something natural. That's something that you've been doing or feeling since you was a kid. It's not based on your environment. That's Pokemon stuff. You don't level up as soon as you meet a man. You don't you don't change from one thing to another immediately from a man. You've already had that feeling. Sometimes these things become defense mechanisms or offensive mechanisms. She may have been baiting you. Hey, I was thinking about it, and that may have been something that you may have been wanting to get down with. But for the most part, I think it's switch up, and to hold for men, we have to hold these women accountable. That's the thing about it. We have to hold ourselves accountable. You know what I mean? Like say, hey, I'm serious about this. If you don't want kids, we not gonna get down. If you don't want this threesome and I pop out with it, we gonna have some real issues. So being accountable from the beginning, you start off the relationship with that. Sometimes the bait and switch don't work all the time. So I just I've seen it too many times, and evolving, like I said, is bringing something out. So if a chick says she ain't never tried, and then you pop it up, and then she say, okay, well let's try a little heady petty. Maybe your homegirl over there. Let's see how you ain't got to effort. Just kiss her a little bit. you know, if that's evolving. But switching up is when you say something and then you really discuss it. Oh my God, I can't even think about that. That's switching up. Am I being clear?
Yes, you have to
Definitely.
be Chef, your turn. Baby.
So yeah, I kind of want to throw a little something back on there, right? We always, as a people, human nature, right? They talk about hypergamy. In terms of lifestyle, we are all naturally hypergamous in terms of wanting to be in a better place. Even before we know that we are equipped or ready or deserve to be there. Fake it till you make it, right? Listen, a lot of times we as people tend to take on challenges and take on situations that we may not be fully equipped for. You get me? So if you're not a fan of her, that's okay. I'm just going to use her as an example. Let's make believe I'm just some dude that makes $27,000 a year. And I have an opportunity to be with Beyonce, say the unmarried Beyonce. Man, I'm going to say I do all the shit that she wants me to say that I do because of the fact that I want to be within that realm. It's not me switching up. It's me wanting to do whatever I can do to be within that realm and to be with that person. Okay. And then hoping by the grace of God, I can attain that level of performance, or that person's specific desires may change and evolve based on being with me. Okay. I may be so entertaining and so fun and so loving and, all of that performs so well that she may not need me to make the billion that Jay is making. My little 27 grand, buy, get a little pedicure here and there. That might be enough. But the thing is, that's just a dream. A lot of times I don't look at it as a negative thing when the folks kind of switch up. Sometimes that person or that lady may just want to be with you so much that she's willing to go with your plan, to follow behind your purpose, even before coping with what that shit entails. A lot of times, women are the flowers that they are because of the way, it's not a negative thing, because of the way they move emotionally. That's the thing that makes them essential creatures to us. That's the thing that makes them the yin to our yang and vice versa. The thing that makes them so different, the fact that they're emotional creatures bound by multiple hormones and all of that stuff, that crazy cocktail is something that men wish to have in their life before they die, right? So I'm not going to put it all on them. My lady, there may have been certain things that she may not have excelled in, and she might have kept it from me because she felt that, yeah, this dude got it together and I want to make sure. But when I did recognize certain things, I couldn't be like, oh, you lying ass broad. Nah, this person respected me and wanted to be with me so much that they gave themselves an opportunity. They took on a challenge. So we have to look at the positive and the love aspect. It may seem like somebody's switching up. Nah, a lot of times that person goes into the gym thinking they're going to lift up the 500-pound dumbbell, the deadlifters. They think they're going to pick up the 600-pound weight, and they try it. They may drop it. The thing is, they went in with a cause, and a lot of times when we want, we ignore certain things and we only look at the positive. So I can't always blame a girl for being a dreamer, man. I can't really do that because what it means sometimes, this is going to sound fucked up. Ladies, don't kill me on this one, but sometimes when somebody lies to a person, when you're lying, you're giving somebody else control of the dynamic, because now that's a lie you told that you always have to hold up. But when you lie to somebody, the people that you choose to lie to, it tends to be the people that you give a fuck about, the ones that you have the most respect for, the ones that how you look or perceive to them is so important. So that's crazy. I'm not trying to create a new paradox here, but people lie only to the people that they have a certain level of respect for or deference to. And that's major. So in the switch up, I've been switched up on before. I've been switched up on before without question. But, some of them, it was a little different. And a lot of it was based on love and based on how they perceived me as a person.
Okay. So you saying that it's not really a switch up, it's them saying they need to gain access to you. And once they gain access to you, they're evolving and hopefully you are empathetic of their real core or their real person.
Yeah, there's some people that just say shit. I just want to get into the arena and let fate and love, choose the way. And just for that, a lot of times we'll just throw ourselves out there. People will do that for something that they feel or consider is great.
Right.
So sometimes I'm that person. If I see somebody lying to me, or I'm that guy that may allow them to lie to me just so I could see what the way they look like when they're lying. I can learn that. But by the same token, too, if I think that they're being untruthful or lacking a certain level of veracity or candor, I try to figure out the why. Because a lot of times that's where the true answer is. Why is this? Is it because this person truly respects my intent? They truly respect who I am and they want to be looked at a certain way by me? Or is it for some other negative aspects that I'm trying to get over?
Right.
I totally agree.
I'm gonna say this. Whatever you tell me in the beginning of the relationship, I'm gonna hold you accountable for. That's just me. I'm gonna hold you accountable for. You say we having threesomes, we're gonna have threesomes. And if we don't want to have threesomes, then I'm not dealing with you. If you say you don't want threesomes, then we don't have threesomes. I am going to hold you accountable for that. I'm going to hold you accountable if you tell me you don't want to get married, because I'm not going to go into the relationship thinking about marriage. So don't switch up. Mean what you say what you mean. We are no longer young adults, 20s. We're in our 40s, 50s, and we need to know what we want. I don't want to waste time. There's no relationship of mine that's going to go over a year or 2 years. In my book, I tell people all the time, anything over 2 years is a dub. It doesn't take that long for you to figure you're going to marry somebody, especially in the 40s. In your 40s, you need 5, 10 years to figure that out. Then you'll be 50. So with that being said, I need to know what's going on beforehand. Now, if I'm dealing with a younger woman who's in her 20s, then I understand why you switched up. Because you don't get it. You figure it out. You figure life out. I get it. But if you're in your 40s or late 30s, you can't switch up on me. You can't switch up with me. That's just me. Um, she said, "Oh, Barbie says no threesome period. My man is mine." Wow.
Look, you never know. You
What do you mean?
never know.
What do you never know?
I'm sorry, man. Sometimes women, you know, they women, especially when you get a live wire woman, they'll tell you, "Hey, look at her, look at her." A couple of lima readers will get a lot of people open. So you never know. Not only that, as you get older, you never know.
So you
You know
think
that.
women don't think about having other men too?
Yeah, I know that for a fact.
What do
I
you
do
think,
too.
Chef? What do you think?
The question you asked about women,
Yeah, women
yeah,
they think about other men as well.
without question. Listen, women are susceptible to the same stuff we're susceptible to. Women have more hormones raging within their bodies. So I don't believe that, men are the predators and women are not. I, I believe that women, they have the ability, they have the means, they have the access, and they have because of those extra hormones that they got, they also have the level of control where we wouldn't find out a damn thing. Okay. So yeah, women have the same desires. That it's all equal, man. Same
And you,
desires, not more, and they have the same ability. That's why some men who tend to be, overconfident in how they move with their woman, thinking that, oh yeah, I ruined her. She ain't gonna get nothing else. Get out of here. Just that you put 3 kids in it and you live in a certain place, MILF is a thing now. So don't think that any woman is ruined. A woman is a special kind of flower that exudes depending on where they are within their rumination, from a small plant all the way to a tree. They all exude a different specific type of nectar, if you will. And that nectar can be sweet to someone or anyone else. Okay, it could be a 20-year-old, 30, 40, 50. Your woman, a woman is a special creature that was put there. And I do believe that they are there as muses, not just helpmeets to us, but muses, a muse, M-U-S-E, somebody that stirs a certain level of creativity, a certain energy to us. Any woman can be a muse, but any woman can't be a muse to any man. So at some point, somebody's going to find your woman as that muse, the one you decide you're going to treat like shit, the one that you don't care for. There's a special key out there to unlock that lock, and you're just lucky enough that that key didn't drop on your doorstep. So I'm not a simp, but I do believe that understanding the beauty and the intricacies of that special creature, a flower we call women, once you start to understand, you'll start to extract the specific beautiful nectars of what they provide to your life.
man, because like, man, y'all, the first time I took my old lady to a strip club, I was surprised. I'm like, oh, you picking out her? Okay. And then they running the game on my lady. She just following by. I'm like, baby, calm down. Calm down. We don't just walk in and get the first little thing that hop at you. Sit down, have a drink. So I mean, like you say, sometimes it takes certain people and you as a man to bring that out. And as a man that's been married, I've been learning that it's my duty to bring out the the every essence of sexuality out of her. Like, it is your duty. You should not be living comfortable with a woman. You should be trying to pull out everything. And sometimes you may go too far, but learn how to pull back. And you didn't at the same time, you don't want to go too far to where it jades her. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? So it is a balance. But like, I like what he was saying. He's like, you got, every woman just needs the right farmer. But it takes humbleness to understand what you have in front of you. You can't treat the daisies like the roses. You know? You can't treat, certain things need certain activities, and you can't overwater certain plants. Certain plants need water all day. So I'm gonna take this metaphor all the way to the bridge, my guy. but you know what I mean. We just like the overwhelming point is that as a man, you should hold the woman accountable for her saying things and hold her to their actions because she's not showing the integrity. Because if she's willing to switch up on things like that, she's gonna switch up on
And it
other
doesn't have
things.
to be sex. Make
Yeah.
that clear. It could be I don't want marriage, I don't want to have kids, and they switch up on you. Or it could be I don't want a joint account. I want separate accounts. Or I
Or I
want
don't
account.
I don't want to cook food every night.
Right.
I'll cook your meals every night. I'm a traditional woman. And then they'll switch up on
But that's
that.
a switch up. So
That's
this
the
is what we're talking about. We only have 25 minutes left, so we got to get it out the way. What is
yeah.
a switch up, ladies? Ladies, what is a switch up that is allowed in relationships? Let us know, because a lot of men are not happy with these switch ups. Oh, she's here. Are you gonna come in?
Miss TJ on deck, Miss Terry on deck.
Let's
Uh-oh.
see. Let's see if she comes in. Let me see.
Rasta says she's not cooking every night.
Is she gonna tell people she is? That's
That
the. She said no. Is that so or no?
I
Hello.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing great. I'm thinking.
Hello.
Shout out to all the Delta Sigma Thetas in the building. I'm Kappa Alpha Psi. Yo, oop. I want to say what's up to you. We have the same colors,
Yeah.
crimson and cream. But I want to let you know one thing. We have a question
Okay.
in regards to two things, and I want you to give your opinion on it. And I hope Keisha comes up because I want her to give her opinion. Switching up versus evolving. And I gave two examples. I want to give you an example.
Okay.
I've dated many women who said, I don't want to get married and I don't want to have children in the beginning of the relationship. After 6 months of a wonderful relationship, they say, you know what? I'm thinking about getting married. And I wonder how you feel about relationships. That's one example.
Mm-hmm.
Second example, I have women that I've dated that says, hey, I'm interested. I will consider a threesome.
Interesting.
And then 6 months later, they say, I don't really want to have a threesome. And then here's another one. Let me give you a bonus one. I am a traditional woman, like E Black said. I am a traditional woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I cook every night. 6 months later, I don't feel like cooking every night. So my question to a woman, because you are the quintessential woman,
Mm-hmm.
is what is the difference between switching up and evolving?
I think switching up is a drastic change. Evolving is something that happens over time. If a woman says to you that she doesn't want to get married or have children, I would take that with a grain of salt. And the reason why I say that is because maybe she actually believes that at the time she said it. And I'll give you an example. My daughter, I only have one child, my daughter, I remember she said early on that she thought she didn't want to have kids. She didn't want to have kids. I remember in high school, she said, Mom, I'm not gonna get married. I don't want to have kids. She met the right guy. She met the right guy. They fell in love, got married, and they just had their first baby. So she believed that at the time she said she believed it at the time she said it. So I think if they say that, it's because they haven't met the right person yet, and they believe it. They believe it. Because when they say that, they're saying because they haven't experienced what it feels like to be, loved, cherished, in such a way. And it's easy to say, well, I don't want that, because if you want it and you're disappointed and you don't get it, if you don't want it, you can't be disappointed if you don't get it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, these are I'm generalizing here. And a woman that says that she's okay with the threesome, I will be cautious as to what prompted such a proclamation. Did you ask her? Did you ask her
Right.
for the threesome?
Right.
Because a lot of times women will say that because they think that that's what you want to hear.
Right.
Knowing good and damn well that they don't share like that.
Right.
They don't share like that.
Right.
TJ cooking.
Go ahead. She cooking. Let her cook. That's what we do. That's what we do here. At the end of the day, women cook. I keep on telling you, women cook. They cook. Sometimes they cook better than men. Even though the best chefs in the world are men. Let's get that correct. Let's make that. The best chefs in the world are men. That's a fact.
Yes.
Let's never mistaken that. But women cook. Women cook. Go ahead. Go ahead, Queen.
And I think, it's unfortunate. And I'm not going to say that I'm all knowing. I evolved, to your point. I evolved because I'll give you an example. There's a guy I dated off and on for over 15 years. When we first started dating, I said I was okay with him seeing other women because I knew that he was seeing other women anyway. Because he told me. So I said I was okay with it, knowing good and damn well I wasn't. But I wanted him. Knowing good and damn well I wasn't. So evolution. Switching up, I think, is a drastic change. If it happens over time, that's one thing different. If a woman says that she cooks every night, I'd be skeptical of that too.
So are you saying don't take any woman's words as solid until 6 months? Don't believe anything they say in the beginning. Just
like a man. Sit back. You can tell you anything. Let me show you. Let me show you. Not just a woman, but men too. Because I'll give you an example. I use anecdotes. When I think I've shared with you all, I met my husband online. We've been married 2 years. We've been together 3.
Mm-hmm.
When we met, I said, I don't cook every day. So if you want somebody to cook it every day, I ain't your girl. I do like wearing either hair weaves, braids, or wigs sometimes. So if you have a problem with that, I'm not your girl. All that. I said it, right? And I believed it when I said it.
Right.
But it's something about the way that man treats me.
Right.
I cook more than I ever have in my entire life. Okay. So a lot of times we believe it when we say it.
Right. Right. Okay.
But that threesome shit, no. No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, you're taking it personal now. We just make examples. But what we want to do is I want to get the fellas, because we got the last 15 minutes. We don't do anything past 2 hours.
Okay.
So we want to get down to the nitty gritty. So we're going to have closing statements. Say your social after your social media accounts after the closing statements. But I really want to hear the fellas' difference between switching and evolving, because she gave a good point. So I want to see if y'all have any opposing points before we close out. We have 15 minutes left. So King E Black, let me know what you're talking about.
First of all, TJ, it's finally good to have a conversation with you. You are just as beautiful as ever. You don't seem rushed, so I'm
Thank
really glad to have a good conversation with you. Never knock it until you try it. But like I said, in terms of the switch up, I think the switch up is more or less perpetuated in a way that people want to present themselves at first, but not being true to their nature. Evolve is something that is being brought out of you. That's my opinion.
you. I like that.
So when you evolve, I will say you can't, you know, you cannot sit here and say that you didn't have the ability to cook every day. It was just brought out by you from the man.
Yeah.
You had the ability to wear your hair natural, but you was just brought out by the man. Now switch up would to me would be just flat out just being like, just flat out just switching up. And that's why the difference for me. That's what I always believe the natural ability is being brought out by the rat man. And that's why it's important for men to have accountability hard grained into your system. If you can't hold the woman that you're with accountable, then you're blocking your blessings and you're blocking the sunlight that could potentially back to Chef's analogy about the flowers. You're blocking the sunlight from your flowers. You're blocking her potential. So you got to have accountability and being able to understand that bringing things out of your woman is the best type of evolving.
Right.
It only brings out good things.
Right. Okay. Before we get into Chef, I want to say one thing. We call all the ladies in our room flowers.
Okay.
Because flowers are nurturing, they're therapeutic to look at, they're beautiful. Everybody wants more flowers around them, so we call women flowers. So if you see, and also it comes from Maricela. Her last name is Flowers in Spanish. So she's one of the first women in this page, and she helps me technically. But Flowers, and so it's an ode to her as well. So, brother King Chef, let me know the difference between switching up and evolving. And then we're going to go back. We got 10 minutes after that. We're going to go back. And I really want y'all to tell me what is allowed. What do you allow from your mate to evolve? What are certain things that you can't switch up? Non-negotiables. I don't care what you say. You can't switch up on me. Okay. After Chef gives his definition between switch up and evolving. And we're going to bring Abraham in the room. Thank you.
So, kind of piggyback off Ms. TJ, switching up and evolving. Switching up to me is more or less it's more something that you would do within the frontal lobe. It's actual thought process. It's something you think about. Evolution is something that takes place based on nature as well as nurture, the experiences, the way that the ecosystem impacts you. That's where evolution comes from. That's why it's nothing that happens like this. Switching up is something you do here and say, okay, I'm going to go this way now. Evolution is something that wears you down. So remember earlier, you called us rocks. Let's call it stones, right?
Men are stones. Men are the stones.
Right.
Men are the flowers.
Stone.
Right.
The sisters, if you look at the dichotomy, you can look at them as water, right? But their level of strength, we're called stones because of the level of compressed strength that we contain. The women are the water that has minerals within it. The more minerals within that water, the deeper the impression as they keep dropping onto the stone.
Yes.
The deeper the impression that they create.
Right.
So as far as the evolution goes, that's more evolutionary because the person that I was when I met the person that I'm with is not the person that I am today.
Say that again.
All of the good stuff.
Say that again. Say that again. Say that again. We only got 10
just like
minutes.
say the yesterday price ain't today's price. Yesterday's chef ain't today's chef. You understand what I'm saying? And that's by virtue of all of the good shit from me and my lady, as well as the things that I may have perceived as bullshit, and reciprocally, so at the end of the day, is it always switching up? Nah, a lot of it is evolution, but that's from the reciprocal give and take of life wearing us down in a specific way. And the stronger the person that you have tends to be the stronger the way that you're able to evolve within that dynamic. It's just about figuring out the right formula, the right cocktail, for it to work perfectly.
Okay.
But evolution is important.
Okay. All right. I like that. So Abraham, we only got literally 10 minutes left. Speak your truth, brother. We here for you. Talk to us.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great, fantastic. Now I would say that switching up is more about doing something out of convenience, and evolution is about growth.
Hold on. Relax. Say that again. Say that again. You hit it down the head. Say it again. You get it. Say it again, brother.
Yeah. No, I'm saying so switching up is doing something out of convenience, where evolution is about growth. It takes time to evolve. Evolution is about challenging your sets of precepts or ideals, right? And then you come to a different conclusion. Like, say for example, you mentioned the threesome example, right? So there are some women who would switch up, who would say, hey, I would never do it. And then with a certain guy, they would say whatever they need to say to get with him and then try to change him, right? Somebody who would evolve would have said, hey, you know what? Human beings are not naturally monogamous. Monogamous is not it's that nature versus nurture argument. Like we're taught that monogamous is a superior form of marriage, but the question is it? And so some people actually, they see over time, they say, well, you know what, hey, when you look at the fact that women are able to their eggs are able to get fertilized one day out of a 28-day cycle, and then within that one day they're burning hot, they're hot and ready to go because they're going through the ovulation period. And that period that women go through, that like once in a 28-day cycle, men go through that every day because we produce millions and millions of sperm cells every day, right? So I mean, you take all that into consideration, and then you question and you ask yourself, well, if monogamy was natural, then why is it that so many societies fail at monogamy, right? And so I'm just saying, this is just an example. And so a person who takes all this in and challenge their precepts and then come to a later conclusion, then you would say that that's a person who evolved over a person who just switched up on you, if I'm making any sense.
No, you make perfect sense. I hope I can get Geronimo. Geronimo, are you on? If you could come on, I put the link on here. I'll go an extra 10 minutes because I don't like going over 2 hours. I'll go over, if he comes on, we go over 10 minutes, extra 10, 15 minutes. But if he doesn't, we're going to shut it short. But I want to say, first of all, shout out to Abraham. Shout out to TJ. I want to say thank you. Y'all came in and dropped some jewels. Dropped some real jewels. And you made us level up in our opinions about switching up and evolving. Because I'm not going to ask regular questions on my platform. No one ever asks anybody what is switching up and evolving, because people do that in relationships. Yeah. And I want to give an example, TJ. What are examples that men do in relationship that switches up or evolving? What are some of those examples?
Wow, you got me there. I'll say temperament. And I'll give you an example. Kind of like what Abraham says, if a person shows you, or in my case, a gentleman showed me a different temperament because it was convenient for him. But when we started dating, his temperament was very erratic, very extreme. And that is not the person that he presented himself to be in a, because men, you all are able to handle certain things because, again, the shoulders that you all carry us on. But the way that he was just very, I'll just be honest, downright abusive verbally. But he presented himself to have a temperament that was very, you know, strong, but loving and caring, but he wasn't. So he completely switched it up. Whereas my husband, his temperament has been the same since we met. However, his way of dealing with conflict when we first started dating was he wouldn't say anything, or just like, because he's a truck driver. So, you know, if I did something, I fumbled the ball, you know, he would just break, you know, military silence, you know, and not talk to me. So the evolution was to say, listen, I'm going to fumble. We're both going to fumble, but I need you to, even if it means, honey, I can't talk to you right now. So the evolution was how he deals with the conflict with me, whereas it before, he would just break contact. And that was way he was used to dealing with it in relationships prior. But the evolution is how he did, because his temperament is the same, always been the same, but how he engaged in the conflict is different. So, and he's never been, you know, condescending or anything like that. So I think that temperament is definitely one. Also another one is work ethic. A man who has presented himself to be about his business and sees that the woman is about her business, get in a relationship and all of a sudden he's not about the business anymore. He's a malingerer. You know, I'm going to work every day and there's a problem. Every time you go to work, there's somebody else causing a problem. But before, you presented yourself to be about your business.
Right.
So to the point we were talking about women and men, over time, you know, even jobs, the probationary period range from 3 months to 6 months. In the federal government, probationary period is a year.
Right.
People can't fake it that long.
Right. Right.
So that's the difference, you know.
Right.
Switch up. That was
all right. So we got 3 minutes left. Please give your socials, and we'll be up here again probably tomorrow, probably 2 days from now. But give your socials, social media accounts, and whatever you want them to contact you. It's going to be. We get a lot of replay, and once again, we're one of the few small YouTube pages that are sponsored.
You're not going to be small for long.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're not going to be small for long.
I appreciate that, but we what we want to do is just, you know, keep it humble. But please, ladies first, flowers first. Let us know where we can reach you at and everything, because it's going to get a lot of replay value. Please let us know.
My YouTube channel is Mosaic with TJ Randolph, and you know, my platform is really trying to help women, young and old, but really old like myself. Well, seasoned. Because to help them learn from the things that I did wrong, if you want to get married, and unlearn some things. And also I've started doing a podcast with my daughter on Saturday, who got married at 24. And, you know, because she didn't see how to be a wife from me, because I wasn't one. So we're having these really candid conversations, and just about, you know, things I did well and things I didn't do well, being a single parent and all those kinds of things. So I'll put it in the chat also, but Mosaic with TJ Randolph.
Thank you. Abraham, brother.
Yeah, I don't have currently I don't have a channel. I'm working on that, but that'll be sometime down the road. So I don't have a social media that you could reach me on. But I did reach out to you before. We wrapped on Facebook. I don't know if you remember. I don't go by this name.
I know, but they cut me off on that. I think somebody did something to my Facebook page. Yeah.
Right. That was me. That we were talking back and forth. And,
yeah.
And I said I would go cop the book. I did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read it. I'll definitely reach out to you and let you know,
Right.
share my thoughts with you. But I'm proud of the fact that you, um, what happened, but you didn't let it stop you. It just gave you more resolve to dig in and do it yourself, and then create your own space. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I'm definitely proud of that, man. But keep doing what you're doing, man. I definitely like the platform. I think 2 hours. I feel you. I understand because you don't want it to run too long. But sometimes if you're
Right.
cooking, you got to let it cook.
Right.
Right. You can always cut it up later because
Right.
there may be thoughts that you wanted to get out that you may not be able to get out until.
Absolutely.
You know.
But we only did it because Chef is an honorable man. We know that people like Lapeef Network, and he has Let's Talk tonight, and we have Ask a Black Man Anything. We don't want to cut them off. They have their show, so
Right.
we don't want to do that. So we want everybody to eat.
Right.
So we try to do at 7 to 9. So we're not haters. We want everybody to eat. So we don't want to cut into their time. But maybe if we move to another day, we could do it longer. So
And that's the thing. I just want to piggyback off what King's saying. You know, that La Peep Network, it created a lot of entertainment, a lot of wisdom, a lot
yes,
of building, and it's important that they do what they're doing,
yes,
regardless of whatever conversational adversarial issue took place. It doesn't matter. They are
doesn't matter.
critical to our ecosystem.
Right,
The meat can also coexist with the vegetables as well as with the grains.
right,
And I don't want what we're doing to have a negative impact on what they're doing, because we're all specific types of medicine and
right,
food for our community. So, you know,
right,
they're just gonna have, there's appetizers, there's entrees, you know, so
right,
we're gonna let
Dessert.
this, right?
right.
Exactly. So, you know, I definitely did not want it to look as though we were going up against them, because we are all vital parts of this ecosystem, and I think we should all be heard. So, you know, that was where my mindset was.
Right. So
I
we,
get.
we
I
over,
didn't even look. I didn't think about that.
yeah, we over time right now. But once again, I want to let you know, even with the low subscriber amount, I still got sponsorship. That tells you something, right? So it doesn't matter how many people subscribe to your page. It's the engagement that we have. We have engagement. So I want to say to you, E Black and Chef, can you close out real quick? Because we're about to shut down the page. Let us know where they can find you at.
All right. So for myself, I have, I'd say, the least social media engagement right now. My real name, first name is Guy, Gui, last name is Ford. So if you look for me on Instagram, you're gonna see at Guy Ford, Guiford, and then you'll see Chef Shapino. I'm getting my YouTube, you know, taking from the personal, taking it to the professional. I've been screaming at the TV screen for a minute. At this point, you know, I'm going to step up to the mic and scream into some of your households. So once I get that situated, you guys will know. Let's get it.
Okay, E Black.
All right. All right, man. You know, it's E Black from E Black TV. You know, I have a YouTube channel. I'd love for y'all to come through. We talk about faith, fatherhood, technology, lifestyle. You know, if you have an opportunity to stop by, you don't have to subscribe if you don't like the content, but if you do like, subscribe. Hopefully, I can get a lot more of you guys to come on and we can have conversations like this in the future. You know, Guy, if you need any help, I'm here for you to help you get off your feet. Okay.
You already know, G.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Maybe it might be up tomorrow, might be up 2 days from now, it might be up for a week from now, but I don't really like letting people know, because we have quality material. If you tuned in today, you got some gems. But those who didn't tune in, you got to hear TJ say some real potent stuff. And Abraham said some real potent stuff. So I promise you, this show of mine is gonna pick up. And when they replay this, they're gonna know that we are giving gems to our community. Because no one's asking questions like this, and no one's giving solutions and answers like this. What is the difference between switching up and evolving? And at the end of the day, we realize switching up is impulsive, it has no concern for the other person, it's selfish, and it's abrupt. But evolving, like Abraham, TJ, Chef, and E Black says, is something that shows that you're willing to grow with your partner, to make things right and make things balanced. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate y'all. And till next time, enjoy yourself. And if you're a flower, remain a flower and beautiful. And if you're a rock, a man, remain solid. Peace.
See.